Psychological abuse of our children by totalitarian child mutilators. In blue states, transgender bills strip parents' rights. And children are given surgeries without the parents being involved. It's nothing but evil.
Block it. That measure would add misgendering and dead naming or calling your child by the name you gave it at birth as acts of discrimination. It would also allow courts to consider these acts during child custody hearings. Here's the state's Republican House Minority Leader.
We have a God-given right as parents to raise our children in accordance with our values. And basically, the offense on this bill is the attack on parental rights, that if you don't follow a certain ideology, that you can be in violation of discrimination. It's just a bridge too far for parents. And I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or unaffiliated. Parental rights is an issue that transcends party lines.
Two moms, one from Colorado, wrote this opinion piece saying their daughters went through a phase of believing they were boys a few years ago, reaffirming their biological female identities now. They write, quote, "A bill under consideration in Colorado would define parents like us as child abusers. It is an assault on reality and on the foundational freedom that makes the United States a beacon of liberty." Erin Lee is a mom, and we welcome her back to the program. We've seen you on here before from Colorado. And Erin Friday is a mom and an attorney from Colorado. All right. Well, Erin, I'm sorry? California. Forgive me. My team was letting me know, Erin Friday. I'm going to start with you. Legally, how do you fight this? Where do you think you can win?
Well, legally, we have to fight this in the courts, and we have to fight this in the press, and let the press understand that this bill not only will determine that parents like Erin and I are abusers. Both of us had Child Protective Services come to our home when we refused to call our daughter males, but also this bill affects the press and its freedom of the press, and it will require the press to use the chosen name of a child how they choose it and any adult. And so it's a massive First Amendment violation, and so we need to fight this both in the courts, in the public domain, and of course standing up at these legislative hearings.
Erin Lee, this is a full-on attack on parenting. I mean, when someone can enter your home and dictate what you can call your child. And by the way, with all the abuse, my mom was a social worker. There were many times she wished there were names that were not being called, and they didn't have anything to do with misgendering. Your take?
Yeah, well, this is personal for both of us. You know, both of our daughters were lured into this mindset that they'd been born in the wrong body in their public schools. And by the time we found out, we were bullied with that suicide myth. Would you rather have a living daughter or a dead son, or a living son or a dead daughter? And now this is giving the authority to our state to take our children away if we don't agree with these gender transitions. And so it's got huge ramifications for all parents, especially those in custody situations who are fighting with their ex-spouses to stop their children from being medicalized. But it opens the door for all parents to potentially have their children forcibly removed by the state if they're not willing to affirm their child's mental health distress. And as we learned with our daughters, that was a very damaging mindset. I mean, they fell into a deep, dark pit of confusion and depression that was caused by this secret gender transition. And so it's terrifying to think that parents like us, good, loving parents, could lose custody of their kids here in the state of Colorado for not going along with this mental health distress.
Erin Friday, I know I kind of kept it legal with you, but you have experience in this lane as well as a mother. And I want to know, and I know Erin Lee was just talking about this a bit, maybe you can go deeper. What is the harm risk to the child when you can't even tell your parents what you're going through at school? And now to take it further, as they sort of transition and maybe not transition, you can't be who you are as a parent.
Well, it's extremely dangerous, as Erin said. Let's define what a transgender child is, because that definition really needs to be ferreted out. That is a child who has acute distress about their natural body. So this is a child who is in in acute distress, and then this child is told that they could be born wrong. And then on top of it, they are told that their parents who look at them and love them as their natural selves are bigots and horrible people and hateful people and don't deserve to be their parents. This is a bipartisan issue. It should be a bipartisan issue. I am a lifelong Democrat, and I have been fighting for parental rights now for 5 years against this gender ideological Borg that is attacking families like us. Here in California, we have parents who have lost custody of their kids, parents who are together because they refuse to transition their children.
Well, I have to say this, your side of the political aisle.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.